Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope everything in your world is dandy. Everything's pretty decent here. I guess as decent as it can be in a quiet house. Except this leather. I still haven't really thought about it much, but I think I should have bought some different leather. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know anything about leather. That's the problem. I've made things out of leather forever, but I just bought whatever they had at the craft store and used that, or found pieces, at like a yard sale or something. So when I bought this, actually this piece, when I bought this, it was listed as 7/8 ounce, and that's essentially, I guess, what this is. This piece is okay. Maybe I'm okay. I think I'm okay, actually. This piece has some thin sections, and what I was thinking was maybe I should have bought something a little thinner. Like this is almost too thick for what I want to do. I think this will be a good material for the main body of the pouch that I'm going to make, but I think I need something thinner to do some of the little pieces. For instance, I want to have like a pouch for my knife to slip into. I think this material will be good for that because it needs to be really rigid. So it needs to be, when I wet form this, I'm going to try to make it really match the profile of this knife so it kind of sticks in there. But I also need places to put pins. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I mentioned yesterday I'd got this leather because I wanted to make something, and what I'm going to make is essentially a shop holster. And I've wanted a shop holster for a while, but I really dislike everything that's on the market because everything that's on the market is made for carpenters. And I'm not a carpenter. I'm a maker. And so the tools that I need to have easily accessible or at the ready aren't the same as a carpenter. I don't need nail pouches, for instance. I'm not going to ever need a nail pouch. If I'm doing anything with a large quantity of nails or screws, I just grab the tub and I put it where I'm working. I'm not doing anything big like that. I don't need to have a bunch of screwdrivers or anything. What I basically need are what I consider the 3 basic tools for making something or for getting the majority of my work done, and that's a pencil, a ruler, and a knife. These 3 tools are like, if I were to carry something every day, if I were to have an everyday carry, it would be these 3 tools. So that's reflected in my pouch design. Now, the reason I'm doing this now, I've had this idea for a very long time. A few years ago, I had a coworker who did leather working, and I talked to him about the types of leather I would need and whatnot. And so, this idea has been floating around in my head, but recently, and I'll link it up here, recently the channel called Samurai Carpenter showed off this like tool vest that he made. And he has this like vest aperture, what we called a LBV in the Marine Corps, a load-bearing vest, this thing that he made that has like chisels here and saws, and he's got like magnets in the back so he can have saws and stuff and all this tools because he's a carpenter and he does carpentry type stuff. And he didn't want a belt pouch pulling his pants down, things spilling when he leans over. He wanted this kind of like customized thing, and I thought, man, that is a great idea. Putting it on my hip isn't necessarily the best place to have these 3 things. For one, oftentimes, like today, I'm wearing just like athletic shorts in here, and so I don't have the ability to hang something off of a belt. 2, if I hang it off the belt, I have to use a belt clip, or the belt has to feed through it, which means I have to take the thing off and on, and I don't like that either. I would much rather have something that I could just put on, take off, regardless of what I'm wearing. So I thought, man, that's great. And so his idea was, what if I just took, he has like these 2 chest pieces, these 2 side pieces, this back piece. What if I just took one of those chest pieces and put it like a underarm holster? That was my idea. So this is my sketch. So in my sketch, I have essentially, hopefully this is somewhat visible to you. Here is my knife. It sits like that. Here is a little square pouch for this particular tape measure. This tape measure came in like one of those really crappy like handyman home kit that has like the world's worst hammer and screwdrivers and stuff. But this tape measure, I've had it for, let's see, I got this when me and Jamie first got together, probably 15 years, and I love it. Part of the reason is it is both imperial and metric, and it's hard to find metric tape measures in the store here. I could order it online, but I'd rather, So anyway, so this pouch will hold this tape measure. These slits are for things like pencils, pens, and my pocket screwdriver, which I use often. And then this pouch is because I don't know what else to put on this thing. So I thought I'd have like a general purpose pouch where I could tuck something in if I'm using it. So that's the idea, all right? And so this leather, this thick, heavy leather, will be perfect for this backing piece. The belt that I bought will be perfect for the straps. So I'm ready to start kind of transforming this into an actual wearable thing. But the thing is, and I think it'll be good for for this particular pouch, if I can get it to wet form properly onto this. But for these pencil things, I think it's too stiff. I'm not positive. I don't know anything about leather. If you do, please chime in down below. This is 7/8 ounce leather. Is this what I should have bought to do pencil pouches like this? Or should I have gone with like 4/5 or 5/6 ounce? I went looking, and like the thinner the leather, the more expensive it is. So one of my other thoughts was, I know this is just sanded, right? So I guess I could sand this thinner? Is that a thing I can do? Or can I carpet tape this to a board and run it through my thickness planer? I need your help. If anybody out there knows anything about leather, I need your help. I could, I guess, use this. This is not vegetable tanned leather. I could use this for the pencil pouches, but I plan on dyeing this. Well, I'm not going to dye it. I'm going to, well, I guess it is a dye. I'm going to use vinegar steel wool to dye this. It'll turn this black. It will not turn this black because there's very little tannins in that. This is vegetable tan, so this is mostly tannin. And then again, for this pouch, maybe this leather will work if I can get it to wet form tight enough to this. The idea of this pouch is taken from Jimmy DiResta. Jimmy doesn't ever take his tape measure off his belt. So his tape measure here, if he needs it, he just does this and measures whatever it needs to do. And that way he doesn't lose his tape. So this is going to sit in this pouch and just come out the bottom. I'll just have to grab it and go. And I won't ever have to wonder where my tape measure is. So maybe this 7/8 ounce is good for that. But I guess the question is, if you know anything about leather, can I shorten? Can I thin this myself? Is that something that is possible? If so, what do you think about running it through the thickness planer? If not, I have a belt sander. I can do that way. If you do know anything about leather, and if you have some like thinner remnants laying around, please let me know. I'd love to buy them from you. I went looking for lightweight remnants, and I can't find a supplier. I can find heavyweight remnants, but I need lightweight remnants, and I'm not finding those. I'm not going to go buy a shoulder for $100 or whatever just to do one project. I really don't have a plan to continue doing leather work. It's just something that I can do, and I'm going to do it. So, yeah, that's what's up today. What's up in your world? Please let me know in the comments. And thank you for being here. As always, thank you for being my friends. Thank you for being with me through this disastrous year. I really appreciate you, and I don't know that I could have got through all this without having this camera pointed in my face all the time. So thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from myhumblekitchen.com. What cut of meat is a minute steak? No idea. Minute steak is cut from the sirloin or round steak and pounded very thin, usually 1/4 inch thick, and is tender from the pounding. Since it's been pounded, it can be cooked quickly, perfect for this busy time of year. I have. What is a minute steak? I've never heard of that.